Shall I start? Okay. A very good morning to all the participants. As you know that we have gathered here with social distance for attending a webinar on the topic challenges before research during COVID. So first of all, I would like to pass on the settings to our principal sir, Roymond sir, to deliver the speech, the welcome speech. Please, sir.
Good morning, everyone. We welcome all the participants who are taking part in this international webinar on challenges before research during COVID-19, organized by Committee for Promotion of Research Activity. At this point, I would like to mention that St. Thomas College, Bhilai was established in the year 1984 by the visionary, late lamented His Grace Dr. Stephanus Mar Theodosius, and has emerged as an institution of excellence in the field of higher education since then. The college has been awarded B++ through re-accreditations in 2019 during third cycle. St. Thomas College is proud of being awarded first B.L. Pandey Memorial Trophy for the best college in the year 2014 on performance index of affiliated college among 151 private colleges under Pandit Ravi Shankar Shukla University, Raipur. This self-financing educational institute has already shown its excellence in academics by achieving merit at university level. Last year, we got 43 merit, including 10 gold medal. Also, every year, students of St. Thomas College excel in extra as well as extra co-curricular activities like zonal and state level sports, cultural activities. I take this opportunity to introduce the eminent personalities to this webinar. I welcome resource persons of this webinar, Dr. Ashutosh Biswal, Professor, Department of Education, MS University, Baroda, and Dr. Anjali Khirwadkar, Assistant Professor, Department of Education, Brock University, Canada. I welcome the Manager Bishop, His Grace Dr. Joseph Mar Danusius, and Administrator of this college, Very Reverend Givargis Ramban, to this program. I also welcome Dr. Vinita Thomas, Dean Academics, Dr. Sonia Popli, Dr. Ujjwala Supe, convener and co-convener of this program. I also extend my welcome to all the students and other participants coming from various institutions, including St. Thomas College, Bhilai. I hope that this webinar will be a great success and purposefully fulfilling for all the beneficiaries. Thank you.
Can I start?
Welcome speech. We have just a minute. We have two resource persons. Now, the first one, as Roymond sir has introduced, is Dr. Ashutosh Biswal. He is from Baroda and he has a teaching experience of 23 years. He has guided 17 students for their PhD degree and 8 are continuing. And he has published around 7 books and research papers 42 and educational papers 40. And besides this, he has completed 10 NCRT, ISSR projects, etc. So a very experienced person. I welcome you, Ashutosh sir, to please start with your presentation.
Okay, thank you very much, Sonia. Thank you very much, Sunya, for these nice words. So, namaskar to all of you. Good morning. So we are going to discuss on this. Like this is a very good topic, like research scenario, and how it is affected by the COVID-19. So for that, I am going to share my slide. Please. Hello. Is it okay?
Yes, sir. Please share it, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Please share it, sir. Share your PPT, sir.
Is it coming? Hello.
No, sir. Not yet. No, sir.
Now. Hello.
No, sir. We didn't get your PPT, sir. Please share it, sir.
Oh.
After sharing, you will see a application window. Choose your PPT from there, sir.
No, I'm going to share screen. Now the thing is screen sharing tips. Okay. So
Then
sharing
click on the
screen.
blue button, sir.
Hello. Now I am the sharing screen.
Yes.
Hello. Please guide. Now it is okay.
Now choose in application window, sir, your PPT.
Okay. Hello.
Yes, sir. I'm listening you. We are not getting your PPT, sir. Here, studio.
So the PPT is on now. Hello.
You just have to click on the share screen. A blue button will come in the sharing tips.
Okay.
Click on that blue screen, sir.
Just 1 minute. So I'm again doing it fresh. Okay.
Okay,
So
okay, sir.
start screen share. Okay. Then another screen is coming, screen share tips. Okay. So there I'm going for screen sharing.
Okay.
Okay.
Then you'll see three options. In the middle one is the application window.
No, that is nothing like this. Hello, Rema. Hello, Michael Ji.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. सुन रहा हूँ मैं, sir.
There is nothing like that. Now what to do?
It should be there, sir.
Oh. So can I start without screen share?
Sure, sir. Sure, sir.
Can we try for another? Okay, just 1 minute. Okay. Okay, I am just starting without the screen share. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So good morning to all of you. Actually, this is in this particularly this talk I am going to just tell you the scenario about the research, how it is affected by the COVID-19. So you'll find, if you're going to the research scenario in India, particularly, you will find a similar procedural norms and rules for scholars. Norms and rules for scholars, including teachers and students, for conducting research, like starting from registering for the research, like the process of doing the research, like at the end how to award the research. All those things we used to have a similar type of, more or less similar type of norms and rules. all over India. So we have a typical orientation passing from generation to generation. Like the same way what we are oriented 10 years back or 20 years back, we are orienting the similar way. There is no much change in the process of this research. So that is a straight-jacketed procedure to facilitate a normal face-to-face mode with a plan, without a plan B since very long. So we don't have a plan B line. Now the thing is, we have a procedure. So now we can feel that all the procedures fail, and there is not a there is no supplement to just do the research work. So there is no plan B at any institutions or any point of time, and there is no efforts to make a plan B immediately. So the very less use of technology in the research process, rather we can say that we are using the technology due to some personal interest, like we are using SPSS, we are using that is the Google Forms, we are using that is the online like online observation, but it is due to the personal interest and individual. It is used by the individual researchers. That is now this is the pandemic of COVID-19 worldwide. So it has totally shut down the academic activities, including teaching, research, and extension all over the world. So today's discussion is on the challenges what we have faced, during this COVID period, before research during this particularly period, okay, and how it is affecting, how the particular research scholars fail. So we are going to discuss about that. So particularly there is the problems in all arena of research, like physical science, social science, language. So everywhere in the medical science. So everywhere it is affecting. So now it is affecting negatively. Some people also take it positively. So we are trying to limit our discussion to the social science research, particularly social science. We are trying to, though I am a person from education, I will try to give more emphasis on the educational research. So we'll discuss how to deal with this type of emergency situation, how the researchers they are dealing. So we are going to I am going to take a few case studies of the doctoral students working at different stages. So I am going to present some 9 case studies of research scholars related to their topic, stages of their research work, problems faced due to the COVID-19 in different dimensions, like psychological, social, academics, administrative, directly or indirectly related to their research work, how they are taking the challenge, how they are adjusting with the problems. So we are going to discuss all those things. I'm going to give their case studies in brief. So all these 9 students, they are my PhD students working at different stages of research with different background and varied perceptions. So on the basis of these case studies, we will try to summarize some of the problems and challenges in Indian scenario, and we'll have a discussion on that. So the first student, this is Satabdi Sarkar. She's working on a descriptive research on the mainstreaming of children with ASD, autism spectrum disorder in schools of Gujarat and West Bengal. She's basically a GRF from West Bengal, staying alone in a rented house. She has just completed her formalities for registration and joined a GRF some 4 months back. She was at the initial stage of her research work. She was supposed to, before the COVID-19, she was supposed to observe few special schools of ASD and inclusive schools at Baroda, Ahmedabad, and Kolkata for a week-long period of time, on the basis of which she was supposed to finalize her sample plan and to select sample for her study. She was to finalize her tools of data collection and doing the review of related literature, along with the lots of literary work. So during the COVID time, she stayed here during the lockdown for 3 months. And after that, when the situation was found uncontrolled and everything, there is no uncertainty, she managed to go to her native place through special train, particularly for migrant workers, which is arranged by the government of India, and reached home with lots of problems and fear. She also quarantined there for 14 days, and it was a horrible experience for her. The facilities so now she's not getting the facilities like library, reading, discussion with the friends, and guide observation of the schools. regular discussion forums, seminars, recreational activities, and all the things are limited now. It is totally stopped. So unable to do the required paperwork. Now it is difficult for him. For example, yesterday, day before yesterday, she was telling me she has sent one like form to UGC, which the forms was found to be wrong. Now you have see how to resend it, how to do it. Now she is in West Bengal. I am here, so the online facilities are not possible. It is not. It is not allowed also. So this is the mental stress due to the absence of friends and family. So during that time, so it is a now also it is a sense of fear due to the uncertainty, changing of policies. Even the university, they are also changing the policies. Now this is the policy due to the COVID. The policy changing. You have to appear here. You have to be there. Like there are many changes. Pressure for the work. Now the work is delayed. So mainly the thing is in this atmosphere, she is unable to concentrate on research work due to depression and fear. Okay. Still, she took it as a challenge, a hope of returning back to the normal life. She is hoping, okay. So now she's taking care of her parents and family members, doing self-studies online, collecting more and more information on the topic, doing literature survey, doing online courses related to the topic, attending webinar and on autism, and she is also doing. She is also meeting with friends. So she is staying alert with following the government guidelines and waiting a lot and lot with a lot and lots of hope. So the next, so it is the case about the that is Satabdi Sarkar. This is the next case is that is the Kamakshi Raipura. She is a student working on the development and implementation of integrated strategy to inculcate productive thinking. This is a highest level of thinking, passing through critical, creative, and productive thinking among elementary school students. So she is a day scholar, SRF, senior research fellow, staying with her family. So she has completed her experiment from the central school, and she has collected the data, doing the analysis of data and writing papers and chapters. Okay. She is more positive rather than negative experiences. She got extra time to work as working from home. This is a new culture which is coming that saved that travel time between home and the department. So that it is now she's not doing the routine work at the department. She got opportunity to extend learning through different webinars and online workshops and online courses. She got opportunity to write research papers and chapters for book, which was not possible during the normal days. She got extra time to prepare herself for competitive examinations and interviews. Now she is preparing for central school. She is preparing for Navodaya Vidyalaya. She is getting extra time. In the negative aspect, an atmosphere of fear and uncertainty that affecting the psychologically and creating unnecessary stress. So she is missing libraries, discussion forums, and direct friend circles activities. So not able to complete the research coursework which was started. We have started before the COVID period, which was started before COVID. Now it is postponed, and she is waiting when the period when it will start, and she is going to join. She is missing the face-to-face discussion and guidance from the research guide, but we are managing it through online meeting and telephone conversations. Overall, it was a positive experience for her. She is concentrating more on her research work. Then the third case is that is a student called Prithviraj. She is working on a study that is educational need of children with autism spectrum disorder. She is an ICSSR fellow, basically from rural UP, staying in a rented accommodations. He has completed his data collection. So he has a very long period of data collection, nearly 1.5 years, and now doing quantitative analysis of data through content analysis and triangulations. He has both positive as well as negative experience. He stayed here during the lockdown period for 3 months and managed to reach his native place through special train for migration workers like Satabdi, and reached home with lots of problems and fear. Now he is also quarantined for 14 days. He's tested, his COVID test was done, but fortunately it was found negative and he's saved. So again, an atmosphere of fear and uncertainty is missing, prevailing there. So he's also missing libraries, discussion forum, direct discussion with the research guide. Now limited availability of this is one of the typical problem, particularly in the rural area, limited availability of internet facilities and electricity facilities in the rural area, affecting to take the advantages of the present time. I got extra time to work as working from home, away from the department routine work. He's doing lots of analysis work. So he's also attending lots of webinar and online workshops. So the next student is that is another student that is typical nature. That is Sarita Rai. CJ student working on a problem that is preparing a success stories of children with autism spectrum disorder. She's a non-native student staying here with her very traditional family with very limited resources, working hard to meet her financial and academic needs. She cleared GRF in December 2019 and very desperate to enroll immediately, just to adjust with the financial and academic these problems. Here, in particular, in our department, for enrolling a research scholar in the department, so we have a very long step. Like first one has to clear NET slate or university entrance test, then he or she has to take a guide and to prepare a very comprehensive research proposal, and he has to present that research proposal in two different forums. One is a lower forum, or that is the forum of the researchers. So the scholar is going to present in front of the researchers. They will give the suggestions, and on the basis of that, the scholar is going to modify the research proposal. And again, the research scholar is going to present that in an upper forum, that is a forum of all the professors and students and research scholars. So that is a huge forum. They used to get lots of feedback, and this is the next. On the basis of the suggestions of that, the guide and the student has to modify the proposal, and they have to present that modified proposal in front of the ADC, that is comprising of external, internal, head, dean, all those things. Once it is approved by this committee, then the student proceed for the procedural paperwork related to registration and payment of fees, all those things. So she has prepared the proposal, presented it in the junior forum, modified and prepared for the senior forum, and now the lockdown started. So now she is waiting for the situation to be normal. She is waiting to present it in the upper forum since last February 2020, and now there is no such provisions available in our university just to present this online forum like this forum online. There is no provision is created. Now the time is also getting out of her hand. She has left the previous job due to the research. Now the reading facilities are not available as libraries are closed. She is getting demotivated and frustrated, along with the fear and stress due to the uncertainty and the combination of all these negative factors. Only positive aspect was that she got enough time to prepare her proposal very thoroughly and improve her proposal, but it is very difficult to concentrate on the studies at this time due to the same fear and the uncertainty. So this is for a newcomer the type of problems we have. Then the next is one of my students is Aditi Pandey. She is working on an experimental study that is on development of strategy to enhance scientific temper among secondary school students. She is a non-native JRF from Chhattisgarh, India, staying in a rental house. So she has completed her experimentation and data collection just before the lockdown, doing the analysis of data and writing papers and chapters. Just completed her interview for SRF and waiting to complete the paperwork, and it has to be sent to the UGC, and for that she is reminding the authorities. Her experience are more positive than negative. As a researcher, she said that COVID has opened many doors of opportunities for the researchers, which was not possible during the regular days. It is different experience. She is getting enough time for data analysis. Uh, Okay. I'm discussing about the Aditi Pandit, the SRF now. She is waiting for the SRF now. So getting enough time for data analysis and writing chapters. In the negative aspect, an atmosphere of again fear and uncertainty is affecting her psychologically, creating lots of stress. Not able to. She was supposed to go home in the month of May. Now she cancelled it. She made the ticket and in again in the June. Then now that train was cancelled. So now the no transport facilities. Now she's staying alone. That is so the she is again missing the libraries, discussion forum, and all the fun with the friends. That is the she's missing the face-to-face discussion with the research scholars and the guide. We are managing that from telephonically and online meetings. So overall, she's taking the challenge very positive and trying to learn something from this epidemic period. Then another student, there is a very intelligent student named Sama Ansari. Ansari, she is working on a topic. Mm, she's working on a topic that is development and implementation of a MOOC in research methodology for student teachers, like for MEd students. She's trying to prepare a MOOC on research methodology for MEd students. So at that time, the people are talking, what is the need of MOOC now? MOOC research methodology is taught by the teachers very nicely, like so many things. So she's a JRF staying here with her parents. She's busy in developing the module for her pilot study and to see online feasibility of the course. She has a totally different story, you will find. She has similar educational and emotional problems like missing the library, academic forums, long discussion with the guide and friends, and so on. She felt that due to this pandemic, there is a massive hike in the people interested in learning online courses. So it will significantly enhance the importance and scope of her study. Now she is more so is more in and keen in adding more and more features which is available now what she is learning from different courses in her course. She also feels that now there will be no problem in getting the sample. She was apprehending whether she's going to get the sample properly. So she's not now. She is going to get it properly. She has learned a lot on online tools, how to prepare online courses, participating in many webinars and doing online courses. So according to her, this pandemic has taught her to work online with minimum facilities which is available at home. Now she's an expert for me. So for any problems while working online, I just make a phone call to Sama, and Sama is always ready to help me. Then there is next student is Pooja Srivastav. That is a similar type of problem. She is working on another topic, developing and implementation of learning strategies to enhance reflective thinking among secondary school students. She is staying with her family. Previously, she was working as a temporary staff in the department. Recently, he got one scholarship from the state government for 2 years, and he joined as a full-time research scholar. She is at the stage of preparing strategy for experimentation, tool for data collection, selection of sample, and reading literature. She has a mixed reaction towards the challenges faced due to the COVID, according to her, now she is spending more time in attending webinars and online courses which is affecting her core research work considerably. So this is also the type of feeling the researchers they used to say. So this is all facing problems due to limited availability. She is also facing like limited availability of the net facilities in her area. The similar atmosphere of fear and uncertainties there, missing libraries. She is so progress on work due to the direct involvement in the department. Now she's getting more time doing the research work, and it is a positive point for her. And the last, sorry, the next student is she is Lakshmi Meher. She is working on the topic enhancement of value and thinking through stories among elementary school children in Orissa. She's basically a GRF from Orissa, staying in the university hostel. She has just completed her formalities for registration and joined as a GRF. So in the initial stage, she is in the initial stage of research work, and she is preparing the stories and she is preparing the tools. He is trying to select the sample, reading literature. Okay, so she has a different horrified story. She was staying in the hostel, and in spite of all the cooperation from the authorities and the hostel people, so they were forced to vacate the hostel, and during that time there was no communication, and she managed to reach home with the special train for the migrants, and and thing is, again she was quarantined there, and now she is very happy there because now she's thinking now the research work, okay, whatever the pending work is there, I can complete once the things are going to be normal. So now I am getting the love and affection of my parents, the good food, everything. Now she has a different story. She's telling me again and again, "Sir, now please pardon me for 1 or 2 months. So I'll do all this work which is pending." So this is another story. And the last one is there is a scholar called Asa Matthew. Okay, she's working on a topic to enhance the creative thinking among ninth standard students through teaching of English. She was working as an English teacher at Mumbai, staying with her family there. She had prepared the strategy and tools. She has planned to do the experiment from during this year from her school, and she has taken it. She has a mixed reaction towards the challenge faced due to COVID. She lost her job due to during this period due to some problems, and now she is searching for a new school for teaching and research. A very unwanted atmosphere of fear and uncertainty, particularly in Mumbai, it is spreading like anything. So thinking on the sample design, if the similar problem is going to continue, so whether the schools are going for online education, if it is possible, then how to work, all those things. So she is trying to redesign the sampling design. Okay, so got some more time to study as relief from the job. She is waiting. She is waiting for a new school, and these are all the like the experience of these research scholars. So we can have some observation from this study. This is a mixed reaction of researchers irrespective of the stage of research work. Many took it as an opportunity for learning. It is a very unwanted atmosphere of fear and uncertainty is prevailing, affecting psychologically and creating lots of stress. Some of them have problems due to limited availability of net facilities and electricity, but particularly the students who are from the rural area they are missing library facilities. This is one of the common thing, missing library discussion forum, direct discussion with the guide, and all the fun with the friends. So I'll tell you one thing, like in my department, there is an excellent library and there is a very good atmosphere in the library, starting from the librarian to all the students. So they used to enjoy that and get used to so many things. So discussion forum, we have every week we have 2 discussion forum. Whatever, one is on Saturday, one is on Tuesday. Tuesday is the bigger one, Saturday the smaller one. In the smaller one, the researchers, they used to manage everything. They also enjoy that. So they are missing all those things. So learned a lot from webinars and doing online. So now these webinars it is one of the miracle thing, so which is helping a lot to the researchers. And there should be some streamline in the policies to make it streamline it. So and on the online courses. So pandemic has taught how to work online with minimum facilities. So now people are working from smartphone, people are working from like the remote areas. So it is making them it is helping them. So now the thing is, what the digital divide we have created, okay, that is the digital hubs and digital hub that has been totally closed down. This is the now that is labeled. Everybody has they are using the digital device, the digital drive, and they are taking the help of that. So now we are compelled to use the technology. All these things were there, but we are not using. So now we are compelled to use it. Okay, so you can understand the problems with us. Now I am not able to show my slide. Okay, so this is the problem with us anyway. So there are many technologies available. We have to acquaint ourselves with this technology. So have a hope for the good time to cover the pending work. This is one of the common thing which is observed by the research scholars. So I'll give you my experience. I'll take another 5 minutes. So this is what is my experience during this time as a researcher. So this pandemic has created the social distances. It has not created the emotional distances. We can understand how how our own students they are suffering. So the thing I'm trying to connected with my students online. So we used to have this Zoom meetings every week. I used to make them phone call. So I am trying to asking them how they are, because being in the same city also we are not able to meet them. So sending them motivational and live messages and some messages which is going to make them relaxed. So taking care of them from a distance. So attending their problems and queries. I have a lots of problems. So my parents are staying with my children. We are staying. So we don't have time. Even there is some pressure from the department. But in spite of that, many students they are preparing the chapters. They are sending the papers. And in spite of that, I am trying to attend that and giving the excuse. And we are managing to just to have an emotional touch with all those people, taking the benefit of these opportunities and so on. I'm trying to my level best to take care of the children, particularly those who are working in the research work. So so there is some even while going through the literature. So I just find how different people they perceive this challenge. Okay, so I have listed some of them. So one is both research and academic activities have hampered a lot. It is a general perception. Students with studies with people are limited. Now we are not able to work with the people due to the social distancing. On one hand, and there is a lot of review studies and laboratory work publishing worldwide. So online classes, all people are taking online classes. Now it is compulsory for the teachers also to take the online classes, and it is a feeling that online classes taken are not up to their satisfaction. It is a common problem with all those things. Because we have a different type of freedom in our own class now. Just being on a chair and taking a class, it is very difficult, and generally we used to be satisfied with this. That is the we work on the analysis of research results and write scientific articles. This is also view of some of the researchers. So many people are developing new projects, keeping the current scenario. So emphasis on the researchers on impact of COVID-19 on education, on social scenario, on economics, on commerce. So there are different things are coming. Most schools or universities will change their strategy and adapt to innovate and learning and e-learning. So it is going to be a change all over the world. Next is development of a culture of working from home. Yes, it is a culture which is there already. Okay, but the thing we are not realized. But now the thing is whether you are taking it positively or negatively. Okay, so I have seen in some of like one of my niece, she was working for a software company for last 6-7 months. She is working from home. And she was telling that both the company and the person both are benefited from that, because the company is not providing the space, the company not providing the facilities. She is using her facilities. She is giving more time. So the thing is whether it can be taken as a culture to develop. Okay. Next is change in the research design. So now we should have a flexible research design according to the need of the time, whether you can change it. So now emphasis is more on the secondary data, and the use of technology for data collection. So can you use the technology for data collection? So now this aspect is going to be taken by Professor Anjali in the next session. So I'm not going to discuss about that. So these are some of the perceptions of the researchers worldwide, particularly the eminent professors who are working in different universities. So on the basis of all these things, I'm going to give few words of suggestions. It is for all. That is, immediate suggestive measures need to be created to help the research community as per the requirement of the time and the availability. Okay, now it is a problem. Can you have some facilities which is available where the research, like the online registration could be possible, online seminar. So recently our university they made made the amendments just to have the final presentation online. So similarly, the things could be possible. So there is a need to create a calm and relaxed atmosphere to make the people free from unnecessary stress. So now this is the time we all are stressed. So can we, if somebody is not interested, can we leave the person free? Okay, so we have to. So that should be not any compulsion. So people should be given some like slot where they can relax, where they can come out of stress. There is a need to strengthen the things like webinar, online. We have discussed books, that online learning. We have to make it more organized. Students should be motivated by the experienced people. Like the role of the guide is very essential. The role of the head of the department, and that is vice chancellor. And this is also very essential. The procedure need to simplify and streamline the things which is affecting the people during this time. That is the need. So human touch is needed at all the point of time. We have to consider everything as a human being, in particularly in this time. So that should be always, we have to prepare a plan B. Okay, if this is not planning, we have to have the thing is, we have to make the things flexible, which is going to facilitate in any point of time. Emphasis should be there to use more and more technology in research. So it should be a compulsory activities, and people should be oriented for that. And the emphasis should be given how to train our people, particularly in the use of technology. People should be trained in technology like online classes and all those things. So in the conclusion, I just want to conclude in these following points. So the COVID has changed the whole world, whether you like it or don't like it. So it has changed the total. It has changed our behavior. It has changed our habit. It has changed our research. It has teaching, learning, everything. What once upon a time we were considering, it is the final. Now it has been everything. It has been changed, irrespective of the level, irrespective of your position. So it is better. It is a better time to learn from the present situation. What the things we have not done, what the things we have to learn. So we have to learn from so many things. Hope that the situation will change very fast, but this learning experience will help to pave the way for the future. And the thing is, we have to be hopeful, and we have to take the system as a positive points, and you have to hope that everything is going to be okay in the next future, and the research area is going to be strengthened, and the problems of the researchers has to be managed. And thank you very much for listening me. I'm very sorry not able to present my like PPT. I'll pass my PPT to the organizers, and definitely they will send it to you. Thank you very much. Hello.
Madam, please unmute yourself. Sonia, madam, please unmute yourself.
Thank you, Ashutosh sir, for presenting the personal experiences of your research scholars. So now I hope our participants also will get uh, to know how to proceed in the researchers, and I'm very thankful for your suggestions. Now I invite Dr. Anjali, our second resource person. Uh, she has a teaching experience of about 25 years in MS University. She has written 23 chapters in edited books and 26 articles in peer-reviewed journals. She has 42 journal articles, 56 presented in conferences and seminars. She has conducted 10 workshops, and She has conducted 6 research projects in India, and now she is conducting 4 research projects uh, in Brook University, Canada. So I welcome you, Anjali ma'am, for your presentation. Please, madam.
Okay. Thank you, Sonia ma'am. Thank you for warm welcome. And like today, I'll be talking about some of the possibilities that we can think about due to the constraints which are posed on us because of COVID-19 situation. So let me first share my screen, and I think it will be there for all of you to view what I'm going to talk about. So this is, I hope you're able to see the screen now.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so before I begin, I would like to greet everyone. A very good morning to everyone. And so this is a very good topic, a great topic and timely topic to consider in our educational research, especially. Now, the question that came to my mind when I looked at this topic of challenges in research during COVID-19, like what made me think actually was I was here reading a book, The Embodied Mind, which is on cognitive science and human learning. And this, like we have, I have my like colleagues over here, and we have a reading circle. And during this pandemic constraints, like during all closures, like we were at home and we were working from home. That was the situation, and that was a reality. And during that time, we were like reading this book, which was proposed by one of my colleagues. Let's read this book and discuss. So when we were reading this book, what struck me was like it made me think about the prescriptive logic in the time of COVID. The what it means is what is not forbidden is allowed. And this means that in this time of crisis, we have to think about the possibilities that we can come up with different varieties of solutions, considering what are the things which are open for us and what we can basically access. So not thinking in terms of what is not possible. Oh, this is not possible, no face to face, now I cannot go to school, I cannot do my data collection, or I cannot go to institution, I cannot visit the library there, or I cannot meet people. So these are the constraints. So now you have to think in terms of what are the possibilities now, and we have to come up with the solutions for that. And that is how this book, when I was reading and discussing with my colleagues this book, it really made me think in this particular direction. So I would also recommend to all of you, you can take this book and start reading. It is really it will really help you to understand like how the human cognition takes place. So going further, I would like to then talk about like as we think of this COVID-19 situation, as like my previous speaker, Dr. Ashutosh, was saying, like our every facet of life is affected due to COVID-19, and be it social life, be it uh, economically, also we are all been affected. So be it economical, social, emotional, culturally, so all facets of life are being affected due to these constraints. And education is not an exception, we know that. And because of this COVID-19, we know all the schools were closed down, all educational institutions were closed down. There were no, you cannot go physically into your institution, and you cannot meet people. So that is what happened. And then, but education has to happen. So, and therefore we turned ourselves to the online and virtual learning. And that is how, like, whether we were prepared or not prepared for the situation, like we were thrown into that particular situation, and then we thought, what's the solution, what we should think about now. And therefore then we turn to the online learning, the virtual learning, and we start exploring, which we never thought of earlier. So that is how we thought of what are the possible things that we can make use of for us to go on. Like the show should go on, it should never stop. The life goes on, the life doesn't stop. And that is how the education will never stop. The education will has to go on, and therefore we have to find the other ways of doing education. And therefore not only the it's not the case of just education, but also the educational research, which is hit strongly due to all these restrictions in place. And my like Dr. Ashutosh Biswal, he rightly presented several cases of his own students, like what kind of dilemmas, what kind of frustrations, what kind of like pressures or maybe depressions they went through. Like, and but still now they are coming up with all these various solutions, like how you can overcome those situations. So that is how this research is not an exception. Again, it is badly hit. And those who are in the research, those students who are registered for those research, for doing for their PhD degree or PhD program, I know they have some they are working under varieties of pressures, because they have social pressures, they have family pressures, they have pressure to complete their degree, they have to get the job after completing their degree. So there are so many things around them. And if there is all closure and you cannot do anything, your research is stuck. And then, like, how you'll find your way out of this? So that's a big question in front of our educational researchers. And therefore, like, the different challenges that we have been facing, like, which are in front of us because of no face to face, and because of all the restrictions due to COVID, right? So there are several questions which comes to our mind, like how am I going to collect my data, how it's going to affect my like my participation in my own study, like how I can conduct certain intervention studies if it's an experimental study, how I'm going to do that during this situation, right? And if this condition continues, right, it will take some time to attain normalcy. So this is the new normal that we have to accept. And in this new normal situation, like how we can, like, think of carrying out our research and going progressing further in those areas. So these are several questions I have jotted down over here. They are not only 4 or 5 questions. I know you have several questions with you, and which you definitely would like to like resolve those questions, ask, should have some answers to those questions. So these are not just a few questions, but there are many more. And one of the most important questions which struck me was what are the ethical implications, so ethical considerations, ethical implications when we are going for online data collection. So this is the most important thing that we need to consider. We'll have to think about these questions when we are thinking of collecting data online, right? So or if you are going to conduct your interviews online. So what about data privacy issues, right? What is the legal context to consider in these cases? So it will again depend from country to country, from institution to institution, what are their policies. And so you have to follow those policies, and then considering those ethical policies, you have to follow those norms when you are going online for carrying out your research. So these are the several questions and several challenges that we need to consider, and we need to innovate and reimagine the present context and help our teachers, students, and parents as like how they can like together we can co-evolve some ways to facilitate our research. And therefore one of the way that we can think of is by turning to technology, how technology can support, because technology, we find our like rescue in technology. We find that yes, technology is going to help us here. So exploring technology and exploring the software applications that are available to us, like whether they are available to us, whether we can access those softwares and applications. So finding out what are our requirements. So look at your need, look at your requirements, and see the available softwares. So whether you can select out of those available softwares depending upon your need and requirement. So that is one of the important thing that you need to consider, because every day you will see some new technologies coming up, some new application, new apps are coming up, but everything and it will not be like useful to you. So you have to see your own needs, what are your own requirements, and accordingly you need to select. So that is one thing that we need to consider. And there are several other possibilities, like considering synchronous as well as asynchronous modes for gathering information, for analyzing, for reporting, right? So these are other possibilities that we need to consider, because when Ashutosh was saying certain like he was telling some of his students problems and issues, like I was jotting down certain points, and like it came to my mind, like there is a solution in front of us. Only thing is we have to like uh, we don't have to go and search anywhere else, but it is in front of us, and just implement that solution. So I'll be taking those examples in the form of examples, and I'll be able to explain you how we can make sure that we make use of those available technologies and available ways of conducting our research. So first of all, I would like to discuss with you about the several synchronous ways for you to help with your research, right? One of the way that you can think of is like interactions with the participants. Like for your participants, like suppose if you are considering conducting some focus group interviews, or maybe an interviews with your participants in the program, then maybe you need to like you can think of whether what are the ways you can conduct these interactions, or maybe interaction with the participants, or the interview, or the discussion with the participants in real time synchronously. So what are the available technological tools to you? You may have an access to those tools, but you need to see again from the perspectives of your participants, of from the point of view of your subjects, whether they have those facilities, or what kind of facilities they have which they can make use of. Like if you go to some remote villages in India, maybe you will find that they may have the like the technological tools with them, but maybe they don't have some internet connections, or there is a poor connectivity, and because of that maybe they are not able to like connect with you in a synchronous way. And even if they are able to connect with you in a synchronous mode, you will find in some cases some issues in the form of like you're not able to hear their voice clearly. So in those cases, like what is the way out? Maybe you can think consider maybe think of having not having the video on, but maybe just an audio, having the live discussion with the person there. So that is how you need to think of various solutions that you can bring for like for your research to happen. So that is about the synchronous interaction with the with the participants of your study, like how you can conduct, if it is a personal interview if you want to conduct, or if it is going to be a group interview or the focus group interview. So this is one available way how you can consider. But before I say that you do this and that, the one of the most important thing is you have to revisit your research. You have to revisit your research framework, because you designed your research framework considering the face-to-face mode, and which is no more the situation now, but now you are going online. So when you are going online, now you have to consider you have to rethink and go back, and you have to revise your framework. Your methodology will also be changed, because now you're making use of the technology for collecting the data. And when you're using the technology, you're recording, you are also taking the video of the person, then the other ethical issues will also come in. So you have to be aware as a researcher, what are the different other like you can say, what are the different other components that you need to consider before you venture into the online data collection practice. Then again, another way is assigning tasks or working individually or with the peer partner. Suppose in my face-to-face class, I was trying to see my research. In my research, I was trying to see, for example, the implementation of some method, right? So I was trying to see how it is helpful for the students to develop their creativity or to develop their thinking skills and so on and so forth. Right now, due to this COVID situation, I'm not able to implement my solution in the classrooms, and I'm not able to see. But still, if the schools are running online, how I can be in touch with the school, how I can be in touch with the school teacher, and maybe I can get a permission to be visiting this visiting in her class online. And then if I am given the permission to conduct my research and collect the data online, maybe how I can implement my my intervention program, how I can assign, whether I can assign the work to the students to work, maybe an activity to work in individually, or I want to work in a group, or I want to help them work with their peer partner, work on that activity. When they are working on their activity, maybe I can use the recording tool to video record those sessions, and later on I can make use of those recorded sessions to analyze my data. Another way is like previously, we were using a technology where you could use the breakout rooms. And using these breakout rooms, like you create group of students, like suppose there are 60 students or 40 students in a class, and you want to implement your group activity for the students to work on in a group. So maybe you have those breakout rooms, students go into that breakout rooms, they work on their activity, and when they're working on their activity, their live discussions are happening in their own group, and that can be recorded. Another thing is, you can also create a shareable document for them, wherein they can write down their ideas, their whatever discussions that is happening, how they are trying to solve that activity, how they are working on that activity, what kind of solutions they are bringing in, what kind of thought process is happening. So all those things, they are writing it down, which you can later on, you can take those documents, because it is a shareable document, you created the document, you have an access to it, you can analyze that document. So there are various opportunities for you, like you have to decide what kind of data collection you want to carry out, right? And another thing is, you will have to also consider what way you can make use of the technology, depending upon the available space or availability that you have at your end. So these are synchronous ways of doing your research. Even you can invite your subjects to participate in an online discussions, right? So like the discussion, suppose your methodology, like you wanted to test like on some of the issues or some of the topics, how what are the how the children or how the students are presenting their views, how they present their viewpoints. So that is one way you wanted to like find out how students articulate, how students present their views. So you suppose that is your objective, then maybe you have some carry out some online discussion in a real time context. And when they are, and you can also very well record those sessions by taking prior permissions. And once you record that sessions, like you can later analyze the whole thing, all scripts, you can do scripting, and you can like all the script analysis you can do carry out. So that will help you to write down like for getting the data in real time context. So these are certain things that you can think of when you are considering your data collection in a live and synchronous way. So what I was when Ashutosh was presenting some of the examples and some of the students constraints, what I realized was like one of the thing that came to my mind is how we can make use of this time which we have right now with us in creating reading circles and discussion circles. So that is a great way to utilize time, right? And be and you can be connected, like as Ashutosh was saying, he's trying to connect or trying to remain in connection with his own students and supporting them emotionally. So this is one way to support emotionally, creating reading circles, discussion circles. And you're also like engaging them in some activity like reading certain books, reading certain articles, and having some discussion. So that is really helpful in the professional growth of a researcher. As a researcher, you can also think of like maybe you can collaborate with your other researchers. Like for example, I will take the example here from the Ashutosh whatever he has presented, because so suppose he has 5 students or 6 students. So all these 5 or 6 students which are working under him, maybe they can collaborate and they can work together, and they can come up with some research article. They can write together a research article. We know you can make very well, you make use of shareable documents to writing a research article. You can do it very well. So that is one thing, and that is one of the most important thing that you have to like plan and think how fruitfully you can make use of this time that is available to us, because we know the time is very precious and never waits for anyone. So that, and that is one thing that we need to take care of. Another thing that I like what Ashutosh was presenting was attending, like his students have also like started attending webinars, like online webinars or online courses. So they are becoming more and more like popular these days, because as you know, like these are they're also like been organized and conducted by various institutions, and therefore definitely like as a researcher you can take advantage of these sessions, and maybe you can like enrich yourself with some of these discussions that is happening. So like attending webinars and online courses, like developing your own skills by attending certain online courses. I can cite one of the example of my daughter, because she was home and she just completed her undergrad program, and she was just sitting and like, but she is working right now for her master's admissions that is going on. But so she was telling, I wanted to learn music. I said, when you were in India, wanted you to learn music, but you never did that. And now in quarantine you want to learn music. From where I'll get a teacher for you to teach you the music. So then suddenly, and like I realized, oh, I have a solution just in front of me. So I have my sister who is a musician. So I told her, contact her and ask her whether she'll be able to take online classes and online sessions for you. And it's working perfectly. It is working rightly. And she's learning music online right now she's here in Canada. And my sister, like who is a musician, Dr. Madhvi Singh, she's in Varanasi, so she's taking her classes, online classes. So see how you can again develop your own skills, right? You can also like you have certain hobbies, and like you have some interest which you never had an opportunity before to pay attention to, or like you have some innate abilities which you have never found that what you can do. So these are certain things. This is a time. Take the advantage of this time. So that is what I would like to say. So there are various synchronous opportunities available for us. Now, going to asynchronous ways. When you talk of asynchronous ways, there are again several things that you can do in an asynchronous environment. Suppose if it is not possible for everyone to be online at the same time in real time, then definitely you can work at your own time, at your own pace, asynchronously. You can assign the task to the students. They can work individually or they can collaborate with their peers. And when they are working individually, you share a document with them where they will write their ideas. When they are working individually, you can also ask them, you take the videos, you take the pictures, what you are doing, and post those pictures. So these are certain ways that you can collect the data, and you can also, like, survey question is a straightforward thing. Like, you can prepare the survey questionnaire and you can just pass on this link, survey questionnaire link, to your subjects, and, like, like, they will go online and um, they will accept the consent to fill your questionnaire, and then they will be filling out your questionnaire once they give the consent and send you you get the data. So there's no need going personally, meeting people personally, and, like, asking them to fill your questionnaire. You can do it online. And another thing is, like, once the data is collected online using the various tools and technologies, it is very simple to analyze also. It comes with all graphs and everything. So graphs are there in front of you now. So, and the Excel sheet is automatically prepared. So you don't have to worry in that sense. Like, after you collect the data manually, you have to enter all the data, and then you'll be working for analyzing the data. So these tools are providing all these facilities. So why not take advantage of this? So this is how, like, having the discussion forums and all those things, that is very much useful. Another problem that Ashutosh was presenting during his talk, that his students were facing, was like, it was related to, like, some of the students are stuck up for their presentation in upper forums. Like he said, one of his student, he or she, I don't remember, but she presented in the lower forum. Her proposal is now ready to present it in upper forum. How to go about it? So maybe the institution should be ready. The institution should be ready to how they can go online, and they can meet virtually, and the presentations could happen virtually. You don't have to wait for the institution to come back to normalcy, and once again they start running face to face, and then you will inform your student to come and present his proposal. By that time, the time has changed. As the time changes, your research proposal value goes down. Something else has come, and therefore, so that is no more valid at that point of time. If you prepared your proposal 1 year back, and then you're proposing it after 1 year or 2 years, it's no meaning out there. So you need to, like see to it that, like, how you can take timely actions. Like, the institution should be ready how they can conduct these virtual sessions and help their students, help their researchers. Also, in terms of, like, paperwork, like, some of the students, he said, they are stuck up due to the paperwork. They, like, the papers, they are in the verge of their completion. They have to submit some documents which are to be signed. Again, that is not done. So that's a question mark in front of me, why it cannot be done. Right? You can do e-signatures, and if not e-signatures, if they are not been accepted, you can sign and scan and send your document easily. So in this time of technology, we should not be stuck up because we want to do everything by face to face. Now we have to change this culture. You have to like you have to train yourself how we can work in this virtual online environment, because as I said, the thing should go on, it should never stop, because the life is running, life is going, life is not stopping. Every day, like even if in the quarantine, have you stopped eating? No, we have not stopped eating, right? We need food. And the same way for the researcher, the food is his work or her work, and that should go on. So that is what I say is like, I will strongly suggest like the institutions be prepared, the researchers be prepared, and even their guides should be prepared, like how they can help their students, the researchers, to go further in this. And therefore, for me, what are the possibilities for conducting research during COVID-19? Right? These are the possibilities that we never thought about, like collaborative research. Like you can, maybe you are placed somewhere in Bhilai, or maybe in any other city or any other state. Collaborate among yourself. You know, now people like who are from which institutions. All institutions have their own on sites, they have their people there, so you can just contact people and try to see if is it possible for them, what are their research interests, who are those professors there, what are their research interests, and whether their research interests match with your own research interest, whether you can collaborate with them. So that is how you can like work with the institutions, work with the people, and try to see how you can collaborate on some common research topics. So that is one area. In by working virtually, you can develop your contacts and think of some collaborative research, which can happen easily. And therefore, what is for collaborative research, what is the most important thing is networking with colleagues across the universities, across the countries, across the globe. There's no limit to it, so you can make connections with people, with researchers. There are so many online information available to you, so you can easily get those informations, you can contact people, and maybe once you may contact them once, you may contact them twice, but it works. So that is how I will say that develop collaborative research, develop your networking skills. And also, when you're developing all these skills and these practices, you are working together for evolving tools and techniques for data collection. Whatever today I have talked about, or whatever Ashutosh has talked about, these are some of the instances or some of the examples we have tried to share. But these are not only few things that few instances that we have shared. There are many more, and that is how you can again work on these few examples and come up with your own ideas, and develop your own techniques, come up with your own ways of data collection. So these are again several possibilities that you can think of by taking online courses, by attending webinars. So that is how the researchers are being helped, and they develop their understanding and knowledge in the area of research. And therefore, finally, I would like to say that research is continued and ongoing, and moving more towards more sustainable and viable ways. So we have to find what are those viable and sustainable ways in these changing times. And for this, the most important thing that I consider is, for bringing more sustainable and viable ways, we have to be thinking about collaboration and shared learning. Share your experiences. Sharing is learning, and sharing is growing. So that is one of the things that you must understand, that your research, whatever work you are doing, don't keep it to yourself. Share with your other people. You will get hundreds of ideas out of it, and you can modify, refine your piece of work. So that is most important. Another thing is connecting beyond the cultural differences. There will be cultural differences, so you have to connect across the globe, irrespective of culture or irrespective of their nationality or whatever it is. So that is how connecting with people and discussing your ideas, getting more ideas, working on those ideas, refining your work, and co-evolving methods and tools and applications. So when you're working with people, collaborating with people, that is helping you to come up with innovative practices. So innovative practices doesn't come up somewhere from the blank, right? You have to work for it. You have to put your ideas, and all these ideas are generated when you're collaborating. And one of the most important thing when you are doing all these things, do not forget the ethical practices in research, which is very, very important. So these are certain things from my point of view for considering or moving towards sustainable and viable ways. Consider these points. And what we will need is, as a researcher definitely, or as an institution, to grow in these areas, we'll definitely need more time, resources, and funding to engage with this evolving and expanding educational community. So that is what I think is most important in this time of COVID, during this COVID time, or maybe the post COVID time. And therefore, with these things, what difference we can make for the benefit of our community is one of the most important thing. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Anjali, for giving us very valuable information and sharing with us all the technological details. Hopefully, it will be very useful for our participants also. And thank you for keeping awake during midnight, being so fresh. Thank you so much. And
Yeah.
now I would like to invite Dr. Ujjwala Supe, the co-convener, for her vote of thanks. Please, ma'am.
Thank you, madam. A warm and graceful good noon to all. The most valuable, honorable resource person, Chief Patron Dr. Manager Bishop, Patron and Administrator, our Principal Dr. M.G. Royman, the worthy teaching and non-teaching staff of St. Thomas College, the students and all the participants. It's my proud privilege to propose a vote of thanks and acknowledge the contribution for those who work hard to make this event successful. I extend my most sincere thanks to Almighty God for making today's event successful. I would like to thank our Chief Patron, Dr. Manager Bishop, to help for organize this international webinar. I would like to thankful to our administrator for taking effort to organize this event. A special mention to our respected principal, Dr. M.G. Royman, for being catalyst and stimulated us to do our best. I extend a sincere thanks to all our respected resource person, Professor Ashutosh sir and Dr. Anjali madam, who spared a time for their busiest schedule to grace this international webinar. Today, we had an opportunity to hear their thoughts, and we will surely be going to encourage us and our research scholars in our future events. Thank you, sir. Thank you, madam. I extend my thanks to all the staff members for their enormous cooperation with the organization of this event. I would also like to thank the people who work hard behind the screen to make this event happen. I extend a big thank to Mr. Michael for his technical assistance. And last but not the least, I am on behalf of St. Thomas College fraternity thankful to all the participant students for making these events as a grand success. Thank you all. Thank you, sir. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
madam.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.